Chapter 6. Silence Before the Storm. Most people react fast. They don't think, they panic. Something goes wrong. Someone says something hurtful. A plan falls apart. And the heart starts to race. Your breath gets short. Your thoughts rush. And before you know it, you're reacting, not responding. Panic makes you move too quickly. It tells you, fix it now. But rushing rarely helps. It only creates more mess. What you really need is space. Space to breathe. Space to see clearly. Space to think. Thinking takes calm. It takes stillness. But in a world that worships speed, stillness feels strange. People admire quick action, but wisdom lives in pause. Clarity doesn't come from chaos. It comes from calm. So before you act, create a little space, a small moment between what happens and what you do next. That moment changes everything. It lets you see the truth, not just your fears. Without space, you act from habit, and habits born in stress rarely bring peace. When you panic, your mind closes. You stop seeing options. You only see problems. You chase comfort instead of direction. But life doesn't fall apart because of the challenge. It falls apart because you don't give yourself time to think. Strength isn't about rushing. It's about staying grounded. It's about thinking before you move. This doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing something better. Choosing reflection over reaction. You build this skill by knowing your triggers. What makes you panic? Fear of failure? Pressure from others? The need to please? When you know your triggers, you can pause before they take control. That pause, even 30 seconds, is power. It breaks the automatic reaction. It gives your mind a breath. People think creating space means waiting. It doesn't. It means choosing. Choosing calm over chaos. And when you do, you start to see something important. Most of the pressure you feel comes from inside your own mind. It's your thoughts, your expectations, your fear of being wrong. But when you step back and breathe, the pressure softens. The problem stays, but you become stronger. That's the difference between reacting and responding. One is fear, the other is focus. You can train for this. Start with 5 quiet minutes in the morning. Write your thoughts at night. Take small pauses before big decisions. Say, I need a moment. You don't need perfect calm. You need space. Your body helps too. Relax your shoulders. Breathe deep. Slow your movement. When your body is calm, your mind follows. Then ideas flow again. Solutions appear. You stop fighting the storm and start steering through it. In hard moments, don't look for quick answers. Look for better questions. What matters most right now? What can I control? What's one small step forward? Questions open the mind. They replace fear with focus. And remember, the world will try to rush you. People will push, pressure, demand. But your job is not to react. Your job is to stay clear, to protect your peace. If something feels urgent, ask, is this truly urgent or just uncomfortable? Not everything needs instant action. Some things need air and quiet thought. This isn't about being slow. It's about being wise. When you rush, you feed panic. When you pause, you feed clarity. Strong minds are not built in speed. They're built in stillness. You can't always control what happens, but you can control your space. And in that space, you'll find your strength. Chapter 7. The Quiet Question That Changes Everything. Most people get in their own way, not because they're weak, but because they forget to pause. They get caught in stress, in doubt, in noise. They keep pushing, repeating the same thoughts, the same words, the same habits. But progress doesn't come from pressure, it comes from clarity. And clarity begins with one small question. What would actually help right now? Not what feels good, not what looks impressive, not what others expect, just what would truly help right now? That question cuts through the fog. It pulls you out of your head and into the moment. It stops the endless why and what if and brings you back to now. Most people never ask it. They get lost in the storm trying to control everything instead of asking what could make this moment lighter. So when your day's fallen apart, ask it. When you're tired, angry, or confused, ask it. When you can't decide, when your thoughts are loud, when everything feels heavy, ask it. Because this question pulls you into the present, and the present is where your power lives. Stress usually hides in the past. Regrets you can't fix, or in the future, worries that might never come. But peace lives here, in this breath, in this moment. Asking this question brings you back to center. It grounds you. It stops the spiral. It clears the fog. You can't move forward if you don't know what matters now. When pressure hits, the mind tries to escape. It runs toward distraction or blame. But what truly helps is often simple. Take a short break, drink some water, breathe, go for a walk, write your thoughts down, turn off the noise. Simple acts, done with intention, can reset everything. Not every problem needs a big answer. Most just need a small shift. But you'll never find that shift if you don't ask the right question. Most people ask, why is this happening? What's wrong with me? How do I fix all of this? Those questions sound deep, but they keep you stuck. They add weight instead of lifting it. But when you ask, what would actually help right now? Your mind flips. You move from reaction to strategy, from confusion to direction. You stop waiting for change, and you start creating it. And that's how you take back control. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe what helps is silence. Maybe it's one deep breath. Maybe it's finishing that small task you've been avoiding all day. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for not being perfect. Maybe it's resting without guilt. Whatever it is, you'll only find it when you slow down enough to ask. This question builds awareness. The more you ask it, the more you notice your own patterns. What throws you off and what brings you back. You start responding with intention, not emotion. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating better ones. You learn emotional strength, the kind that lets you feel pain but still act with purpose. You can be disappointed and still take the next step. You can be uncertain and still choose wisely. You can be frustrated and still do what's useful. That's self-leadership. That's real power. It also helps in tough conversations. When emotions rise, pause and ask quietly, what would actually help right now? Sometimes the answer is to listen more, sometimes to speak less, sometimes to step away and breathe. That small question can save you from regret. It gives you control over your behavior when your emotions want to take over. And it's not only for bad moments. It works when things go right, too. When you're focused and flowing, ask, what would help me keep this going? Maybe you protect your time. Maybe you double down on what's working. It keeps your progress intentional, not accidental. And when you feel stuck, this question resets your mind. It moves you from dreaming to doing. You stop wishing and start acting. You stop waiting and start leading. Over time, it becomes a habit. You catch yourself faster. You waste less time. You make fewer excuses. You build confidence, not from big wins, but from steady steps forward. You stop turning small problems into disasters. You stop believing every bad day means failure because you've trained your mind to look for what helps, not what hurts. And slowly, you begin to trust yourself again. You recover faster, you refocus quicker. You shift your energy back to action. That's where real progress lives. Not in perfect plans, but in present awareness. So write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see. Ask it often. What would actually help right now? One quiet question, one calm breath, one small action. That's how you stay grounded. That's how you keep moving forward. That's how you turn awareness into strength and thought into progress. Not someday, but right now. Chapter 8. Stop complaining, start creating. Every day people lose time, energy, and peace. Not because life is unfair, but because they complain. It starts small. You wake up tired and say it out loud. You see something you don't like. You talk about it. Someone makes a mistake. You tell someone else. Bad news comes. You add your voice to the noise. Bit by bit, complaining becomes a habit. And habits build your mindset. Your mindset builds your life. The more you complain, the less energy you have to change anything. Complaining doesn't fix things. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't bring progress. It just keeps your eyes locked on what's wrong and blinds you from what's possible. You stop seeing options. You stop moving forward. You live in frustration instead of growth because complaining is easy. Anyone can do it. It doesn't need courage. It doesn't need effort. It just steals your power and gives you nothing back. If you want your life to change, you must change how you speak, how you think, and how you act. Start simple. Replace complaining with one useful action every day. Not a big leap, not a perfect plan. Just one small step in the direction you say you want to go. Because what you do daily is who you become. If you complain every day, you'll start seeing the world through frustration. But if you take one small action, you'll start seeing progress where others only see problems. Most people complain because it feels like release. Something goes wrong, and you want to let it out. You want someone to hear it. You want to feel right. That's human. But after you complain, ask yourself, what changed? Did the problem go away? Did I grow? Or did I just repeat what I already knew? Now imagine this. Every time you catch yourself complaining, you stop. You take a breath, and you ask, what's one thing I can do right now that helps? Maybe it's sending that message you've been avoiding. Maybe it's cleaning your space. Maybe it's taking a walk, drinking water, or saying sorry. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be different. That one shift changes everything. It tells your brain, I don't have to stay stuck. I can move. You stop expressing pain through negativity and start transforming it through action. Action builds motion. Motion builds momentum. And momentum breaks the pattern. This doesn't mean you hide your feelings. It means you respect them enough to do something useful with them. If something hurts, feel it, but then move with it. Ask, what would progress look like here? Then take one step that way. That's how you grow without drowning. One moment, one choice, one shift in direction. Every time you replace complaint with action, you build confidence. You begin to trust yourself again. Because you're no longer waiting for someone else to fix things, you're showing up for yourself. You become the kind of person who handles things even when it's not fair, even when it's hard, even when you're tired. You don't need perfection, you just need effort. In the right direction. Complaining drains you. Action refuels you. Your results might not come instantly, but your mindset changes immediately. Because deep down, your brain knows complaining is noise, action is leadership. And the moment you act, you stop being a victim of life and start being its author. Complaining creates fatigue. It wears you out before the day even starts. It makes you powerless because all you're doing is reacting. But one small action creates strength. It builds resilience. It reminds you you still have choices. Start small. Catch yourself once a day. If you're stuck in traffic, don't complain. Listen to an audiobook or reflect on your goals. If you're frustrated with someone, don't gossip. Communicate. If you're tired, don't keep repeating it. Check your sleep, your water, your food. Fix one thing. Small shifts, big power. Over time, this rewires your mind. You stop seeing frustration as a wall and start seeing it as a signal. A signal that something must change. A signal that you have power. A signal that it's time to move. And people will notice. You'll speak calmer. You'll handle stress with more patience. You'll stop being pulled into every complaint around you, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You'll respect yourself more because you'll know you're doing your part, not avoiding it. You'll feel lighter, clearer, and more in control. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect day. That's just another delay. Start today. Start with one complaint. Replace it with one action. Then repeat. Every time you do, you train your brain to create, not complain. You build a life based on movement, not noise. You stop describing the problem and start becoming the solution. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's your choice. So next time you feel the urge to complain, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me move forward? If not, trade it. Not for perfection, just for progress. Because that's how you grow. That's how you rise. That's how you turn your energy into forward motion. One choice at a time, every single day. Chapter 9. Feel deeply. Choose wisely. When emotions rise, the mind gets cloudy. You felt that before, saying something you didn't mean, doing something you later regretted, avoiding something you knew you had to face. The truth is simple. You weren't calm. Your emotions were driving, and they took you somewhere you didn't want to go. Most people live like that. They let emotions lead instead of learning to lead their emotions. But emotions aren't the enemy. They're messengers. They tell you when something matters. They remind you that you care. The problem begins when you don't manage them. You lose your clarity. You react instead of respond. You say yes when your soul whispers no. You stay quiet when your heart wants to speak. You follow pressure instead of peace. Unmanaged emotion has a price: broken trust, wasted time, missed chances, and constant stress. The solution is not to hide your feelings, it's to calm them, to breathe through them, to give yourself a moment to see things clearly. Calm is not weakness, it's strength under control. It's a skill, and it can be learned. When you stay calm, you protect your judgment. You see things as they are, not as they feel in one heated moment. Because the first version of any story is often written by fear. If you pause, if you breathe, you'll find the second version, the one that's wiser, wider, and true. That's the version of you that speaks with purpose, that chooses with clarity, that holds the long-term goal even when short-term emotions shout loud. Think about your last decision made in stress. Did it help you or hurt you? Did you wish you had taken a breath first? That wish is awareness. It's your higher self saying, next time, slow down. You don't become calm by accident. You build it with practice. You learn your signals, the tight chest, the racing thoughts, the shallow breath. Those are warnings. That's your mind saying, pause now, before I take over. When you're triggered, don't fight it. Breathe deeper. Step away. Ground yourself in the moment. Ask softly, what do I really want from this? Not what your emotion wants, but what your future needs. Strong people don't silence emotions. They listen, but they don't obey. They feel, but they wait. And in that waiting, they choose with wisdom. You won't get it right every time. That's okay. You don't need perfection. You just need awareness. Catch yourself once in 5 times, then twice, then more. Soon, calm becomes your nature. Instead of exploding, you exhale. Instead of shutting down, you stand steady. Many lives have changed in a single moment of anger. One sentence, one decision, one reaction, and years of peace are gone. Every one of them would tell you this. I wish I had paused. You don't need to avoid emotions. You just need to master them, to respect them, but not surrender to them. That's strength. That's leadership. That's maturity. Imagine your relationships if you paused before reacting. Imagine your goals if frustration didn't guide your choices. Imagine your peace if you stayed calm in chaos. That's the power of calm, quiet, steady, unshakable. It keeps your focus sharp, your integrity strong, your life aligned. Practice in small ways. When annoyed, breathe. When misunderstood, listen. When things fall apart, slow down. Each calm choice builds emotional strength. And that strength gives you freedom. Freedom from reaction, freedom from regret. You are not your emotions. You feel them, but you are more than them. Keep your power, own your peace, lead your life, because the more you practice calm, the clearer you think, the wiser you act, the stronger you become. So next time emotions rise, don't run with them. Pause, breathe, choose. That's your real power. That's how you build a life not ruled by reaction, but guided by peace. Chapter 10. Consistency beats speed. Progress isn't always exciting. It doesn't always come with applause or clear signs or big wins. Most of the time, it's quiet, it's slow, it's invisible. And that's why it's hard to keep going. You work hard, you give your best, but the results feel far away. So your mind starts whispering, maybe I'm wasting time. Maybe it's not working. Maybe it's not meant for me. But listen, slow progress is still progress. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not growing underneath. Real growth takes time. It's not fast. It's not flashy. It's built from small choices, daily effort, quiet discipline. The kind of change that lasts happens behind the scenes, when no one is watching and nothing seems to move. But something is moving. You are. This is where belief matters most. Not blind hope, but belief born from discipline. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they stop too soon. They walk away before their seeds ever bloom. They forget that transformation takes time. You're not just changing what you do. You're changing who you are, how you think, how you respond, how you show up when it's hard. And that kind of change can't be rushed. If you stop now, you erase every step you've taken. So keep moving, even when it's slow, even when it's quiet, even when no one claps. You don't need to go fast. You just need to go steady. Discipline whispers, I'll keep going anyway, even when I'm tired, even when I'm bored, even when it feels pointless, because the goal still matters, because growth still matters, Every small action adds up. Every small decision builds something. You're stacking effort, one layer at a time. And those layers become your future. The speed doesn't matter. The direction does. When you feel discouraged, when the days feel long, remember, this is the season where most people quit. And that's exactly why you shouldn't. If you can stay steady when it's slow, you'll be strong when it speeds up. Patience now builds power later. People say, it's not working, but they really mean it's not working fast enough. Growth doesn't move on your schedule. It moves on truth's schedule. You can't rush real change. You can't shortcut real strength. The waiting is where character is made. It's where you learn the difference between interest and commitment. Anyone can start when it's easy. But real transformation happens when you stay consistent after the excitement fades. Fast results fade. Slow growth lasts. Because slow growth teaches you to handle what's coming. So remind yourself why you started. Remember the dream. Remember the promise you made to yourself. It still matters. It's still alive. It's just waiting for your consistency to catch up. Don't let the slow pace fool you. You're not stuck. You're building. You're not behind. You're becoming. Slowness isn't failure. It's proof that you're doing the deep work. Don't compare your chapter to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their struggle, their waiting, their quiet nights of doubt. Focus on your own path, your own pace, your own progress, because the ones who keep going through the silence are the ones who rise when the time comes. You're doing better than you think. You're still trying. You're still showing up. That means something. Don't let frustration steal your fire. Don't let impatience talk you out of what's still possible. You don't need massive wins today. You just need one small step, one small choice that keeps you moving forward. Some days it'll feel like nothing's changing, but one day you'll look back and see everything changed. The growth, the mindset, the stronger version of you. Stay patient. Stay steady. Don't quit because it's quiet. That silence is strength in the making. That stillness is your breakthrough forming. You don't have to see it yet. You just have to trust it, because slow progress is still progress. And the only way to lose is to stop. So don't stop. Keep moving. Keep building. Keep believing. The results will come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they will come. And when they do, you'll be grateful you never walked away.